Imagine this. It is the year 1348. You are in bed. You have a high fever. Your armpits are swollen. The Black Death is outside your door. Then, someone knocks. It is a doctor. You think, finally, someone who can save me. You are wrong. Dead wrong. Because in the Middle Ages, calling a doctor did not save your life. It ended it faster. Today, we're going to prove why medieval doctors were more dangerous than the disease itself. And no, this is not an exaggeration. This is medical history. Reason number 1. Medieval doctors did not believe in germs. Instead, they believed in something called miasm. They thought diseases came from bad air or poisonous smells. To protect themselves from bad air, they wore those iconic bird-like masks filled with herbs. But here's the problem. Their noses were safe, but their hands? Completely dirty. A doctor would treat a dying plague patient in the morning. Then, without washing his hands or changing his clothes, he would visit a pregnant woman in the afternoon. He carried the plague bacteria on his fingers, his robe, and his tools. He did not stop the outbreak, he delivered it from house to house. Your worst enemy was not the rat or the flea. It was the man with the medical degree. Reason number 2. Their cures were more lethal than the sickness. Medieval doctors followed the theory of the 4 humors: blood, phlegm, black bile, and yellow bile. If you were sick, they said your blood was unbalanced. So what was their solution? Remove the blood. They would cut your arm and drain 1 to 2 liters of blood into a bowl. But listen to this. The human body only has about 5 liters total. Losing 2 liters in 10 minutes causes organ failure. Many patients died from blood loss, not from the plague. And it gets worse. Their medicines were made from mercury, arsenic, and lead. Mercury for syphilis? It destroyed your kidneys. Arsenic for fever? That's rat poison. If you had a simple headache, all you needed was rest and water. But if you called a doctor, you got poison. It's like choosing between dying from a disease or dying from treatment. Reason number 3. They performed pointless surgeries. You have a headache? A medieval doctor did not give you aspirin. He gave you a hole in the skull. This procedure is called trepanation. The goal was to let evil spirits escape from your brain. But here's the catch. They had no anesthesia, just alcohol, and their tools were never sterilized. The wound would almost certainly get infected, and in the 14th century, an infected brain meant certain death. The irony? A headache usually goes away on its own, but after the doctor drilled into your head, you were finished. You survived the pain, but you did not survive the doctor. Finally, reason number 4. The most dangerous thing about medieval doctors was their arrogance. Common people noticed that isolation worked. If you stayed away from sick people, you stayed healthy. In fact, the city of Dubrovnik introduced a 40-day quarantine in 1377, and it drastically reduced deaths. But university-trained doctors rejected quarantine. They said, no, the plague comes from bad air, not from human contact. Instead of recommending isolation, they told people to burn sweet-smelling wood and eat crushed emeralds. Crushed emeralds. While the doctors argued, thousands died because they followed bad advice. The real cure was simple: stay home. But the doctors were too proud to admit it. So, here's the final truth. If you caught the plague in 1348 and did nothing, you had a 50% chance of survival. But if you caught the plague and called a doctor, your chance of survival dropped to nearly 0. Not because of the bacteria, but because of the man holding the knife. Sometimes the most dangerous person in the room is not the enemy, It's the one who claims to be your healer. Thanks for watching. Stay healthy and stay away from medieval doctors.